Coming up on Bloom, meet a dynamic female entrepreneur expanding in the Gasworks Tampa district.
I knew it was the right fit for Tampa. Gold's, like you mentioned, the history is long, and I think this is something Tampa needed.
And find out how one woman is navigating a business typically run by men.
Big part of that. And to get through all the challenges in e-board, but it's been up, down, all around. The ride's been amazing.
Plus, meet a self-taught metalsmith living out her dreams. We'll have all that and more as Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, starts now. I'm Gayle Guyardo. Welcome to Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. Today we're celebrating women entrepreneurs investing in Tampa Bay, feeding our economy and bringing exciting things to do here in the Bay Area. And many of these women are stepping in the space of businesses typically owned by men. And that's happening in a new district in Tampa Bay coming to life called Gasworks, hailed as crossroads of culture just outside of downtown Tampa. Under construction in Tampa's new 50-acre mixed-use development is a gym with a long history getting ready to open its doors. Joining me now is the woman building out more than 25,000 square feet of a new Gold's Gym, Kimberly Curtis. Kimberly, welcome to Bloom.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited to talk to you because we are celebrating women that are investing into Tampa Bay, building up our local economy. And man, you have taken on a huge undertaking. I had the opportunity to kind of go behind the scenes with you. This is exciting stuff. Tell me about it.
It's very exciting. So I came on board with Gold's almost 2 years ago now, from the moment we first started talking to where we are now to get this far. And as soon as I met with them and we talked about me coming on as a franchisee, I knew it was the right fit for us, and I knew it was the right fit for Tampa. Gold's, like you mentioned, the history is long, and I think this is something Tampa needed.
And you know, this is what's interesting to me, and I think it's going to be a message to everyone watching, is that sometimes in life you have to just do it. It's not like you were heavy into the gym industry. No. This is something that you just were personally passionate about.
Exactly.
So how did you overcome the fear of just obviously loving to work out, believing in staying physically fit, to investing in such a huge undertaking?
Yeah, it's a big jump, and I think first and foremost, I believe in Tampa, and all of the development coming here, the investment that's being made here. I've been on the Channel District Redevelopment Committee for a number of years now, about 6 years. I'm actually chair now of that. So I've been able to see, a lot of the new developers coming in, their proposed plans, the investment they're going to make, and I just felt like Tampa was the right place. And I knew with all the growth coming in and all the residences and buildings that the downtown core needed another strength training gym.
Yeah, it's super cool. A lot of heavy hitters are getting behind you in this. The Gronk, is even part of it. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we have some great partners on board with us. Beyond just, our equipment vendors, which includes Matrix, Torque, Gym 80. We do have a relationship and partnership with Gronk Fitness, as well as their other company, Ice Shaker. And then we also partner with another business that they're invested in that actually just opened their second location in Tampa called Green Lane.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah.
I did, as I mentioned earlier, have the opportunity to kind of walk through the gym. It's not even like with full lighting in there. You were just showing me around. You've really had a hands-on approach to all of this, and it hasn't been easy. Anybody that does even a small remodel will tell you how difficult that is. 25,000 square feet of space, and you have this vision of what you want that to look like, working very closely with a local architectural firm.
Yeah, definitely. The first minute I walked in the building, I had a vision in my head of what I wanted the space to look like at the end. And now that we're almost at the end of the project, it looks almost exactly like I first saw it when I first walked through the very first day. I think projects this big, you have to just have that mindset of, this is it, I'm taking this on and I'm gonna make this happen no matter what it takes. I've lived and breathed this for a year and a half since we first found the building and started talking about design, interviewing, like you mentioned, our designers. And I've just gone head first, and it's pretty much consumed my life the whole time, but I knew it would be worth it, and I'm proud that we're almost done.
Yeah, it is super exciting. Any words of wisdom and again, we're not trying to differentiate, men versus women on this show. It just so happens that the women we're highlighting today are stepping into fields that have typically been run by men.
Sure.
Any words of wisdom that you might have to people out there wanting to live out their dream?
Yeah, it is unusual, I think, for females to own franchises of this sort and in this industry. I don't really see it as an obstacle. I think it's just because it's not typically done. Maybe more don't pursue it, but they shouldn't be afraid to, because I've been welcomed by everyone in this industry, every other brand, every small gyms, large gyms, boutiques, men, women. I've been welcomed by everybody, and everybody's just been really supportive and super enthusiastic about us opening. And my advice is, if it's something you're passionate about, just do it. You just got to do it.
And one last thing I want to mention, you're doing it in a big way. I mean, you're resurrecting a franchise with a long history, dating all the way back to Arnold Schwarzenegger in California, that he worked out there free when the gym first opened. Right. We're looking at some old photographs, and you're opening in the Gasworks district, which is a huge development, but you also hope to expand as soon as you're done with this big project.
We do, yeah. We're already on the hunt now for location number 2. Our agreement with Gold's is to open a minimum of 7 of them in this market, so we have a ways to go.
But hey, you've taken the first big step, and super excited, Kimberly, that you've shared it with our Bloom viewers. You're an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you so much.
I was super excited for you, and we're going to share
so much.
Kimberly's story on BloomTampaBay.com. And coming up, meet a woman running a popular spot in Tampa's historic Ybor City, about to celebrate 21 years of being in business. Bloom will be right back. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. Move over, Bridget Moynihan and Tyra Banks. The real woman behind Ybor City's Coyote Ugly is making waves in Tampa Bay, running a hotspot and giving back to our community.
To be a coyote, we hire you based on your dance skills, your singing skills, and your bartending skills. And then we have a dance practice every week that is planned by a choreographer, and they have to learn all the 6 dances we use every hour for our patrons. It's so fun. We've been here 21 years, and we have our 21st anniversary May 18th, and it's just a blast. It's for people from all kinds of walks of the earth, and we are here to stay and here in Ybor.
Joining me now is the woman behind Coyote Ugly Saloon, CEO Joanna Olson. Joanna, welcome to Bloom.
Thank you for having me.
So we all remember the movie back in the 80s, but really you were a part of this from the very beginning, and I didn't realize the incredible history of Coyote Ugly Saloons.
Yes, so the movie is based on our bar, and it started in New York City, and that's where the idea for the movie Coyote Ugly came.
And so being a female leader in this space must be incredibly challenging, but incredibly rewarding.
Yes, it's been a great journey, and I've never used being a female or male as that. Just you work hard, dig in. Bought my building 22 years ago and went in and just opened here in Tampa.
So talk to me about how you even got involved with this in the first place.
I owned a nightclub in Atlanta called Paradox, and I went to go visit my family in New York, and we went to the bar Coyote Ugly, and I fell in love with the concept and said I have to do one of these in Atlanta, and then shortly thereafter chose 3 other cities, and Tampa being one of them, because I had visited the famous Ybor City when I was in college.
Now, it seems like Ybor City, our historic district, is going through a renaissance now, where it's, really a hot spot of where people are moving in. But you've been there for the long haul, more than 2 decades, through highs, through lows. You've withstood the test of time. Talk to me about being able to do that.
Well, I think it's very important to own your building. So we did purchase the building, this historic 1907 building, and renovated it. And so that's been a really big part. To be your own landlord has been a big part of that. and to get through all the challenges in Ybor. But it's been up, down, all around. The ride's been amazing, and we are just love being part of the community and giving back and just being part of this. And like you said, the Renaissance coming through, we're just getting better and better and better and seeing it evolve and all the synergy going on between downtown and Ybor. It's been awesome.
And you are really big into giving back to the community. I mean,
Yes.
if you're going to invest in Tampa Bay and you've had all of these people stand by you throughout the years and so many
100%.
loyal patrons, you like to give back as well.
Absolutely. We're always giving back through Feeding Tampa Bay, Clothes to Kids. We love to do a charity event every month and be part of all the charity events and volunteer our time and our efforts and the money that we make in this great community.
I'm sure there are a lot of women, and as you said, you know, we're not trying to separate men and women here, but it is kind of awe and inspiring to sit here and hear what you've been able to do over the last 2 decades plus. I mean, is there any special golden touch that you have to making something like this last?
For me, when you're an entrepreneur, it's never giving up, never taking no for an answer, and having resilience. Because as we know, we've been through hurricanes, closing down for COVID, this and that. It's being resilient and always being able to navigate through any turns and twists that come up, and you will have something come up almost every day.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note, and as we talk to female leaders on the show today, we all have our waves of highs and lows in life. I mean, that's to be expected.
Right, 100%, and especially in business. And again, it's so many moving parts and unexpected things that can happen at night that will affect your business the next day. So you have to be able to adjust and open the next day and have everything going as well as you can.
Now you're about to have a big celebration coming up.
Yes.
Tell us what that involves.
All right, well, we turned 21 years, so our bar can finally drink. We're so excited. And we are doing an open bar from 7 to 9 this Saturday. So it's going to be a very fun Coyote Ugly theme, so wear your best Western gear and come out and join us. Because we want to give back, like she said, to give everybody and say thank you to the community that we've been able to be open for 21 years here in Ybor.
Yeah, it's really quite the feat. And I had the wonderful opportunity to kind of go behind the scenes with you. And I have to say, dancing on top of a bar is not easy. The Coyote Ugly girls were nice enough to give me a few lessons. Now, eventually, here I am going to get into the, all right, there's a little bit
you rocked
coordinated.
it.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that. I got the boots are too big.
Yeah.
And I'm just feeling extra awkward. But
Oh,
I
you
will
rocked
say, it was a lot of fun. The girls were so nice. And I think that's also part of the vibe. It's just, it's a place that you can go and have fun and enjoy the theme and like kind of fall into the magic of it all.
Yep, and like you said, it's female owned like the movie. We're all female owners, and it's all female Coyote Ugly girls.
I love it. Well, it is a great story. Congratulations
Thank you so much.
on your long-standing, establishment right in the heart of historic Ybor
Thank
City.
you.
And if you want to read more about Joanna and find out about the big celebration coming up this weekend on bloomtampabay.com, we've got everything posted for you. And when we come back, meet a female entrepreneur opening up restaurants across Tampa Bay.
It's been fortunate because I was trained as a chef, but I also got into wellness and health, as you know. So for the last decade, I have worked primarily in the culinary wellness space.
We'll be right back. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. There are a lot of female entrepreneurs in Tampa Bay lifting up our local economy in spaces typically dominated by men. Joining me now is top female restaurateur, the founder of High Hospitality Group, and the author of Craving Boss, Natalia Levy. Natalia, it's always so great to see you.
I'm so grateful to be here and be a part of female entrepreneurship in Tampa too.
And you do it so well. In fact, you've opened up several restaurants all across the Tampa Bay area. What got you into this?
So I was trained as a chef in New York City over 20 years ago, and then it started as a family business almost 7 years ago. And in 7 years, we have opened 5 restaurants. We are so fortunate to have the most incredible team of dedicated professionals that are so passionate and are just, they're so knowledgeable, and I always learn something from them every day. It's amazing.
So talk to me about being a chef. That's typically a man's world, and you really have dominated this space, which is very exciting.
It's been fortunate because I was trained as a chef, but I also got into wellness and health, as you know. So for the last decade, I have worked primarily in the culinary wellness space. And once at the restaurants, we have an amazing team of chefs. We have a culinary director that has developed the recipes for restaurants like Kojo and Barhana and Palm Avenue Deli. And the team now is working on developing multiple concepts for Central Park St. Pete Food Hall as well. There's going to be over 10 different food concepts.
That's going to be super, super exciting, and that you're a part of that as well. Talk to me a little bit about your quest for wellness and cooking in this space. I mean, even what we're putting together today is so good for us, and you believe that foods can heal.
I believe that foods can heal, and I also believe that positive mindset can heal. And in a lot of our kitchens, and actually in all of our kitchens, I printed the stickers that 5 or 6, you'll find them in all of our kitchens that say, always cook with love, in English and in Spanish. So because I feel like love is such an ingredient that we don't put it on the recipe, on the list of ingredients. But I'm hoping that one day maybe somebody will invent a device that can measure love as an ingredient. And food can give us energy. Food is what sustains us, but also food is love.
Yeah, it really is. It truly, truly is. And it speaks love to so many people because your food is directly tied to your loved ones and sitting around the table every night. So how do we put this beautiful beet salad together?
Yeah, so this is my favorite go-to whenever we just had a book club, and we put this together as well in our apartment building where we live. So very easy. We have some boiled beets. You can actually buy beets that have been pre-boiled.
You can,
yeah,
oh, okay.
in several grocery stores. And I have done, if I want to go fancy, sometimes I will add some vino verde while I'm poaching the beets too. So that will be a tipsy beet salad if you want to make it a little tipsy, have fun with it. So we have red beets, and we are going to arrange golden beets. The beauty of this salad is that it's a palette. Think of your plate as an artist palette, and then it does not have to be perfect. You know, sometimes we just want things to be so perfect in the rest of our life. This one you can play with.
I love it.
And you can arrange it however you want. Why don't you add, so this is whipped honey goat cheese, and I actually added a little bit of orange juice in there, so we can use 2 little spoons.
Okay,
for
and
it.
you're just doing, I see here, just like little chunks
wherever
of it.
you want.
Okay.
You can have a lot of fun with that.
Okay.
So that will add the depth of flavor and the creaminess. So we're working with different textures too, which is something that as chefs, that's what we do, is we layer flavors but also textures.
Oh, this is good. This is fun.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah,
it's like painting, and you don't even. It's not even painting by number. It's just you're doing whatever feels good.
Okay, perfect.
And then the next thing that we do is this is called supreme oranges. So there's an orange segment. So we're going to just add that. So we add in another texture and another level of flavor. So you see how we're building things up.
I like that. This is such a great idea, and combinations that people might not think to do.
So that if in season, if you have pomegranate seeds available, that is another layer of texture and flavor.
Okay.
And I have done these also, if stone fruits are in season, you can add peaches to this, or watermelon. You can do little cubes of watermelon. So it's whatever you have available for entertaining. This is such a good, and it's a crowd pleaser for sure.
And I like that you mentioned that you can get the beets maybe pre-cooked to help out a little bit, because a lot of people, boiling them and peeling them is,
that takes time.
Takes a little bit of time. I mean, I love beets. It's worth the effort.
Then we can do a little salt and pepper here. Really, really easy. If you want, you can do some olive oil. And then what I do is whatever nuts you have. So here I have honey pecans, so we can do that. If you have hazelnuts is a good nut for there, or cashews, it's pretty much whatever that you have available. And another tip, so there are books that can help match up flavors.
Oh, really?
So there's a flavor Bible book, and there's multiple.
So it gives you
the flavor
inspirations.
matrix. Yeah, so you can look at them, and you start with an ingredient, and it tells you which other ingredients pair well as a flavor profile.
Okay.
And
I
then
love
you can
this.
start experimenting with that. So we have this, and then we can do a little drizzle of
glaze.
the balsamic glaze.
And then I see you have some microgreens over
I
there.
love microgreens. Microgreens is such an underrated ingredient, and a lot of people use them to make dishes look pretty, which we all want our entertaining dishes look pretty, but they are packed with nutrients. Absolutely delicious.
So they're really good. So as you put the micronutrients on there, we're going to share Natalia's story and her recipes on bloomtampabay.com. I'm going to have a little taste, and we're going to take you to break, but we'll be back with more Bloom right after this. Living the Tampa Bay lifestyle means enjoying the sand, sun, and outdoors fun. So get out, get active, and nurture those healthy habits. Hey there, I'm Gayle Guyardo, host of Bloom. Now there's a new all-inclusive place with everything you need to shape your lifestyle, boost your health, and improve your wellness. BloomTampaBay.com, Tampa Bay's premier health and wellness website, made to help you feel good. Whether you're a fitness fanatic, beauty buff, or just want to take your first step towards positive change, this free website is for you. See the Bay Area's hottest fitness products, the latest workout crazes, and learn nutrition tips from the experts. Plus, discover local events and experiences designed with your well-being in mind. Cultivate a healthy mind, body, and soul. Check out BloomTampaBay.com, your local health and wellness website. That's BloomTampaBay.com. We're back celebrating female entrepreneurs making a difference, and that includes the Today Show's nutrition, health, and lifestyle expert, Joy Bauer, who's taking social media by storm and appearing on national platforms like the Today Show. Joy uses her platform to engage with her viewers and share reliable, practical, and easy to follow advice that helps millions of people eat healthier and live better lives. Joy, it is so great to see you.
Oh, Gayle, it's always so great to see you. And let me tell you, I think one of the most rewarding parts of my job and what I do is being a regular guest on your show. So thank you for that.
That really means a lot to us, especially that you've been by Bloom's side really since its insemination when we were just babies trying to grow the show onto the NBC platform here in Tampa. So we so appreciate you standing behind us, and tell us more about your incredible brand that you built over the years.
You know, it really sort of organically built itself. I feel so lucky because I've loved every single job that I've ever had. And I started many, many years ago. Contrary to people think I'm sort of this made for television nutritionist, I need to apologize about my I want to say the sore thumb, but it's a sore pinky. I had a little accident with a knife, but it looks worse than it is. It's floating around, so I figured I needed to talk about it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad.
But what I was going to say is, I started out in academia. I was I have an undergrad in biochemistry and kinesiology. I have a graduate degree in nutrition. And in the beginning of my career, way before television, I was the director of nutrition for pediatric cardiology at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City. And I also taught at NYU School of Continuing Ed, anatomy and physiology and sports nutrition. So sort of like the polar opposite of what I do now. But because I love to write and I started writing books, those books landed on the desks of various producers. And then TV producers started calling me. And that's how I really got my start on television. I never aspired to build this gigantic brand and to be, a media presence. But I feel so incredibly grateful from the standpoint of wanting to encourage people and inspire people to make lifestyle changes so that they can enhance their heart health and reduce the risk for certain diseases like cancers and improve their energy and their brain health. To have this media platform and be able to hit millions of people in a matter of minutes is incredibly rewarding. And I never, ever take that for granted, ever. I just feel so lucky.
Well, we so appreciate you. You're the perfect person to be in the spotlight. And of course, we've got to put you on the spot right now. We have just about a minute and a half left. Can you throw a little something together for us?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm going to do it on video because of this little pinky injury. But I took speaking of social media, because it's a top priority for me right now, I took one of the most popular recipes. So this is my bruschetta pasta salad. And I start with Roma tomatoes because they're a little bit less watery and juicy. I chop them up, and you see I'm mixing it with basil and with garlic and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and balsamic. Then I mix it with whole grain pasta, about 4 cups worth. And then I like to add in either the mozzarella pearls or shaved Parmesan. And I'm telling you, it is such a wonderful either springtime or summer pasta salad. There's never any leftovers in my house, but if you do have leftovers, it sort of becomes more delicious 2 or 3 days in the fridge. I would say 3 days tops. But what happens is all of those flavors sort of meld together, and it's really delicious.
I love it. And just one of the many examples that you share on social media that inspire, the millions of people that follow you to try these things at home and to get out of the box a little bit and have fun with their health and with how they feed their families. So Joy, thank you so much, and congratulations to you for all that you've done in building this remarkable brand.
Oh, thanks to you too, Gayle. And I love that I'm able to take you guys on the road with me sometimes. Yeah. So we have some fun adventures in our future.
I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Joy. And we're going to post this recipe on bloomtampabay.com. And coming up later on Bloom, meet a self-taught metalsmith and jewelry maker living out her career dreams. But first, it's time for today's Bloom trivia question. Tomatoes, the main ingredient in bruschetta, have a water content of about 40%, 65%, or 95%. We'll have the answer later on Bloom. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We begin where your checkup ends. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.
The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Renewal by Andersen of Tampa.
Welcome back to Bloom. It's time for your window to the weekend, presented by Renewal by Andersen of Tampa. There's a special tea party in Tampa Bay, cultivating community and celebrating sight. Joining me now with more is the Lions World Vision Institute Foundation Executive Director, Sharon Boyes. Sharon, it is always such a pleasure to see you.
It's always great to see you as well, Gayle. And I just love being able to come on your show and continue to tell our amazing story.
Yeah, and I love that you're getting it out there with all the cool events that you do. I mean, I know we talk about Roar through Ybor over the years, of course, the famous eyeball. More and more people are finding out about this gem, which really has a global reach, that's right here in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at us, we are a $60 million nonprofit here in Tampa Bay. We're one of the largest employers. We're one of the most global organizations, and as an iBank, we employ 300 folks across the country, and we recover and restore sight to over 1,000 people per month. I mean, it's just amazing. And then we're in this incredible historic building in Ybor City, and that was really kind of the impetus of us coming up with this idea to have a ladies' tea event in our historic building and bring together a reason to come out and see a whole lot of history that we embody as well.
And you've partnered with another great organization of women that are going to be coming in, because I think the big thing about having a non-for-profit like Lions World Vision right here in the heart of Tampa and historic Ybor City is to get the word out about the incredible work and research that you do.
That's right, right. So we're not just an iBank. I mean, we are we are a combined iBank and, doing the corneal transplants, but we also have a research component to us. And so when you think about medical research and what is needed to go into medical research, it is the tissues that scientists are able to, perform or run tests on, and to be able to see, how they respond to those. And the place that they're, and other eye banks that are not recovering those tissues because they have no need for them. And so right here in Ybor, again, when we are honoring the donation of someone's, loved ones, when they want to provide their organs, we're able to find a home for them and research as well. And so we have a research department where we not only supply those tissues, but we also are able to conduct third-party and peer reviews. The foundation, which is what I have the privilege of running for the organization, we fund a fellowship every year over at the University of South Florida because it's really all those researchers talking together that someday find cures for things like glaucoma or macular degeneration or RP or things that are really, that cause of blindness.
Yeah. I mean, and you think, oh, it's not going to happen to me. I literally just had my best friend from childhood call me. Her son's got, an eye disease that is going to possibly he'll lose his eyesight.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I know exactly who to call. And then you do so many incredible outreach programs. You work together with the Glazer Foundation and you fit kids with glasses that are in need, that maybe their parents thought they had a learning disability, but they never got a proper eye screening.
No, and there's 1 in 4 kids who have an undiagnosed vision problem in the country. And so, and kids, they don't know the world is supposed to look different. And so when they're not seeing in school or they're not being able to see the blackboard, people don't necessarily think, oh, maybe it's just because they can't see, because the child doesn't hurt. They don't know any different, and really a simple vision screening can not only find out that they can be corrected immediately with glasses, but find out some of those really important eye diseases that they may have, which if there's not early intervention, that can lead also sometimes to irreversible loss of sight. And that's really what we're all about. We're about protecting that precious gift of seeing, because if you can't see, you can't learn, you're dependent on other folks, and you really have, really lots of challenges in the world.
Well, I know a lot of people out there are looking for ways to be part of the community and give back. So the Vision and Bloom Tea Party is happening Friday, May 17th at 11 a.m. at the Lions World Vision Institute headquarters right in historic Ybor City. The building itself is just stunningly beautiful, so a sight to see. We'll put everything you need to know on bloomtampabay.com. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Renewal by Anderson of Tampa.
Welcome back to Bloom. We're shining the spotlight on female entrepreneurs in Tampa Bay. And our next girl boss is living her career dreams, launching a new business, Metal with a Twist. Joining me now is artist and metalsmith Kamisha Martin. Kamisha, welcome to Bloom.
Thank you for having me here.
And congratulations on winning Best in Show at the Dali Museum. That's huge.
It was such an honor. Like, I was literally shocked and amazed about it. It was a great honor to be in that building and to have won that prestigious award.
Well, people really admire your work, but tell us a little bit about your journey, because we're trying to inspire other women out there that want to live their dream.
Yes, absolutely. So I think most people don't think you can be an artist and do it for a living. So I started making jewelry. People were like, do you sell that? And I said, no, I just make it for myself. And after the 30th person said, hey, do you sell your jewelry? I thought, maybe I should start selling this jewelry. And so Lola Soul Jewelry was born. And then came Metal with a Twist. I would have galleries and museums that would ask me to teach classes. And I would be like, I'm self-taught. Like, you want to probably go ask a professional. Back then, I don't think they had a name for it, but now they call it imposter syndrome, right? And so I didn't realize, like, no, you're pretty good, chick.
So own it, right?
So own it. Like, they're asking you to teach these classes. And so I chose to do something that was more lighthearted and fun versus like a long workshop class. So this is like come for a couple hours and learn how to become a metalsmith.
That's so cool. So how did you make the transition? Like, what were you you doing before when you're like, you know what, I'm going to pivot in life? Because I think a lot of us want to find a time or a space in our life where we can do that and really be passionate about living out our career goals.
Yeah, so I worked in the nonprofit world for a very long time, and then I got wooed over to, I like to call it the dark side, and went to corporate America, and I was an IT project manager for quite a while. And I love doing those things, but I tell you, making jewelry is what brings me joy, right? So taking a piece that was just flat or a round wire and turn it into a piece of art and then seeing someone wear it, like, that was my passion. And so I was really encouraged by lots of other people and other artists and other forums and other business women who were like, you need to do this full time. This is what you should be doing. This is your business. This is your thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to circle back just a little bit and touch on something that you said before. There was a coined name for it of imposter syndrome. You know, now we have a name for everything. You know, you questioned yourself there for a slight moment. Fortunately, you didn't harbor on that because you're living out your dream right now. But what advice would you give other women that are like, I don't know if I can do it, or is it me that just thinks this, or is it really a possibility?
Yeah, I think so. My hashtag for my business, I think, speaks volumes, and it says being fearless. I think that's what you have to be, because being fearless does not mean that you're not scared, right? It means that you're scared and you do it anyway. Like, that is really what being fearless is about. So I think we have to own the fact that we're scared, right? But then figure out, what do I do so that when I leap that I'm flying? What do I do to set myself up for success? And then I became the definition. I fired my corporate job. to start my jewelry business. I was like, you know what? You're fired. I'm going to be doing this over here full time. So I think you have to really trust yourself.
That's beautiful.
You have to trust yourself and trust that you have the talents, the skills, and abilities to be successful.
Now, how do we support you? How do we get behind what you're doing? I mean, of course, we have at the Dali, you got all these accolades. That is so cool to see. But how can we get behind you?
So you can follow me on socials, of course. That's always extremely important. I tell people support comes in so many different ways. Maybe you're like, I don't wear a lot of jewelry. Jewelry isn't my thing. Then you can tell other people about my jewelry. You can follow me on social media. You can come to the Metal with a Twist parties. You can buy a gift certificate for someone who may want to come to a party. And then you can just tell people about the awesome artistry of jewelry. Yeah.
Well, I have to say, your work is absolutely beautiful. Your inspiration and your drive is even that much more beautiful, and we really appreciate you coming on Bloom and sharing it with our viewers.
Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to say that we have our next Metal with a Twist party on Saturday with our premier partner, Sip Shop Hooray in St. Pete, and we're going to be making metal sterling silver hearts because it's Mother's Day month.
I love it.
Yeah, all the moms and momish and mother-like figures out there.
We're hearting you. All right, read more about Kamisha on BloomTampaBay.com. And coming up, meet a woman in the business of helping young girls pave the way to a bright future. Bloom will be right back. Welcome back. There's a program in Tampa Bay designed to provide young women with an exciting, powerful, and life-changing path in life. Joining me now is the founder of Bloom Girls Club, Sasha Fowler. Sasha, welcome to Bloom.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to talk to you. Needless to say, we're partial to the name, but tell me a little bit about the mission behind the Bloom Girls Club.
Sure. So I started Bloom Girls Club about 3.5 years ago during the pandemic. As a teacher, there were a lot of students coming to me needing help, needing advice, and I realized that there was such a huge need to provide a space for girls to feel safe, to find that advice, that mentorship, that counseling, that accountability. And our school district didn't have anything at the time that I could start for the girls, so I just started something myself. We started as a club, and now it's officially a nonprofit organization.
That's great. So what do the girls do as part of being members of the Bloom Girls Club?
We keep them very, very busy. So Bloom is all about creating a space of sisterhood, academic excellence, and allowing the girls to tap into their full potential. So to do that, we have monthly club days where we have different females from the community come and pour into the girls. So we've had all the way from therapists, pastors, lawyers, social media managers come speak to the girls. We do monthly community service. We do monthly future planning meetings with our juniors and seniors. And we also do our socials, where we create that community and that camaraderie within the girls. And on top of all of that, we also have quarterly field trips. So we're trying to expose the girls to a lot of different experiences so that they can feel confident enough to maybe think that this could be something I do in the future.
I definitely want to talk more. I know you're a teacher. I think this is incredible. As a mother of 4 daughters, I think it's incredible what you're doing. But let's look at the Bloom acronym and see, really what it stands for. So kind of walk us through what we're seeing right now.
So Bloom, B is for belong, L is for love, O is for overcome, O is for overachieve, and M is motivate. So essentially, we want to create that space where girls can belong, that community where they can feel loved. So many girls struggle with insecurity, with not having their parents at home, and we're creating that space for them so that with that love and that sense of belonging, they can have the tools to overcome their barriers, overachieve in school, and then use all of that to motivate other girls to do the same.
Now, have you set this up in a way that other schools can, take your model and use it and spread the good word of Bloom?
Yeah, so part of why I also made it into a nonprofit organization is because the dream is to expand throughout our district and throughout the state. So we have a whole model where other schools can now have their own chapters, and we're in the works of starting that with other schools right now, actually.
That's really cool. And would you guys have mentorship programs where maybe one student could work with one of the students in your club and kind of learn the inroads?
Yeah, so one of our officer positions is the legacy coordinator. And as the legacy coordinator, they are mentoring other girls within the organization to empower them to be future leaders or to encourage them, tutor them, whatever it is they need. So yes.
I really think this is an incredible idea coming from one of our many amazing teachers here in the Tampa Bay area. We really applaud you for the work you do in the classroom.
Thank you.
We know that's enough, and
Yeah,
now
it's
you're
a lot.
adding outside of the classroom. So hats off to you, and thank you
you
so much for joining us on Bloom today.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
All right, we're going to share Sasha's story and more about the gala on BloomTampaBay.com, and we'll be back with more Bloom right after this. It's time for today's Bloom trivia question. Tomatoes have a water content of about 40%, 65%, or 95%. The answer is 95%. According to Healthline, the other 5% consists mainly of carbs and fiber. Well, thank you so much for tuning into Bloom today. You can catch Bloom anytime by following us on social media. We're on all major platforms, so get a behind-the-scenes look at all of the innovative breakthrough health and wellness conversations and incredible guests that we have right here on Bloom. And don't forget to check out our podcast, The Bloom Health Club. You can catch it live on Facebook and YouTube on Mondays at 2 p.m. We take a deep dive and have extended conversations with some of the top guests that we have right here on Bloom. You can watch our podcast anytime on YouTube or listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We hope you'll tune in again on the next Bloom presented by Lifeguard Imaging. Find out about a new laser in Tampa that turns back time without the downtime. And up-and-coming chef Oliver Farrell is back in the Bloom kitchen whipping up something delicious. So stay healthy, everyone, and I will see you on the next Bloom.
Content segments during Bloom were paid for by Renewal by Anderson of Tampa.
Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.